Hello people of YouTube, I'm standing here at Universal Studios City Walk and I've got the DJI Osmo Pocket, iPhone 7 Plus, the GoPro Hero 7 Black, and the Insta 360 One X. Join us on my family vacation seeing which one works best as the ultimate vacation camera. My initial impressions so far are that the easiest one to just get out and record with while you're on the go with your family is either the GoPro or your iPhone. This Pocket, well, it's great and all, but the screen is so little and the 360 is awesome, except you can't really tell what you're filming, which is okay because in post-production you can actually change that to see wherever you want. But for just the quickness and the ease of use, your GoPro 7 and your iPhone take battle number one. Wow, that's really cool.
I know. I don't even know what to say. I know. I don't even know what to say.
Now we're going to go through and show each camera individually. Right now I'm filming with the GoPro 7, and then we'll jump into the next camera, the next camera, and the next camera, and feel what it's really like to vlog, well, in public at Universal Studios with the different cameras. One of the cool things about the GoPro is it's really easy to transition from one scene to another as we continue the Universal Studios tour using the GoPro 7. What I want to do is show you guys a couple of features with each camera. They all have features that the other one sort of doesn't. Like the GoPro has hyperlapse. One of my favorite things at Universal Studios has always been the Backlot Tour, something they don't have in Florida. It's where you get to actually go back on the tram and see real sets, real things happening. It's just really cool overall. And for that, we're gonna switch over to the Insta 360 camera. So I can move the camera around and choose the shot wherever I want. Which should make a really cool camera for the actual backstage lot tour. You guys ready?
And we are going to head into 6 Points, Texas. These are some of our oldest sets on the lot. Yeah, anything you don't see, they had to bring in. I know, but there he is, right there. They caught him. My buddy George is in the water doing it. He takes Oh, he's taking the whole. Oh, 3, watch out, there's a shark! 4, watch out, there's a shark! Woo! And 1,900. Car 4, watch out there. It's fine. Oh, you're happy. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, the crash site from Steven Spielberg's World.
Everything you just saw was recorded on the 360 camera. It recorded everything all the way around, and then after the fact, I chose what you were looking at. Another option you can do with the Insta 360 One X is you can actually record it in 360 mode, export it in 360 mode, and let the viewer on YouTube, using the YouTube app or a desktop computer, choose what they want to look at after the fact or as they watch it. For this video, I chose what you saw. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Osmo Pocket for a little while. Now the Osmo Pocket, now that's a camera that I'm really on the fence about. I don't know if I really like it or not. And I'm not talking just for vlogging, I'm talking overall. It does have some cool features, and there's a lot more I need to look into to explore. So expect all that in an upcoming video. Can you make a good travel vlog with it? Is it perfect for you to go to Disneyland, or in this case, Universal Studios?
I've never. This is what you're.
I don't like how close it crops in. It doesn't have a tripod mount on the bottom. You're limited with what you can do with it because of that. Also, when you walk, yeah, it's on a gimbal, but it gets this sort of up and down bounce, so you sort of got to do this ninja walk thing. But you can't just, how did that stay? I don't know. You tell me. Let me know in the comments below so far which camera has looked the best to you, which camera has sounded the best to you, which one you think you would use. And make sure you stay around to the very end of this video, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts on the audio, the video, how it actually felt using it in public, and which one is my favorite. For now, let me put this camera away, and we'll go over to the iPhone. I'm telling you, those little scooters, they're everywhere out here. It's crazy. Doing a video, one of my vlogs, those scooters are all over the place by Santa Monica Pier. There's a reason that I'm using the iPhone 7 and not the iPhone 10. Well, I don't own an iPhone 10, but I included this anyways because it's what I always have in my pocket, and sometimes that's what you need. Just the camera that's on you is the best camera you got. Take that with a grain of salt that this is an iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm using the front-facing camera right now. I will switch it shortly to the rear-facing camera. Before I switch over to the rear-facing camera, let's get back inside Universal Studios to finish this video out. One of the big pluses with the iPhone 7, iPhone 10 is the built-in slow motion. It's not the best slow motion you're gonna get out there, but for a cell phone, absolutely mind-blowing. Also does time-lapse. Not that the other cameras don't do that, but it's in your pocket almost always. It makes it so much easier to just pull it out and go. A couple more things with the iPhone. That zoom feature is really handy to have that, like when you're out at a show, you wanted to zoom in, like you saw those shots at Waterworld. You can zoom in up to 6 times, which...
Sean, you have to control this thing.
As I was saying, another thing great with your phone is the zoom feature, the slow motion, your portrait mode, your pictures. You've got everything in one with a giant screen, as well as a self-facing screen, self-facing camera. Whoa! The only 2 cameras that are worth the crap for low light seem to be the DJI Osmo Pocket, as well as the iPhone. So if you're looking for the winner of that, I'm gonna guess it's probably the Osmo Pocket, but I haven't seen. the footage yet, so you guys let me know again in the comments what you think. Stick around and I'm gonna let you know my final views on which one I liked and why. What a day! I've been thinking, how am I gonna go over these final thoughts? Because they're very important and I have a lot of them. Let's go ahead and start with your phone. In this video, I was using an iPhone 7 Plus. The 10 is out, your Galaxy is out, whatever the newest phones are, those are gonna smoke this one out of the water. The front-facing camera on this, you can see the shots in this video, they're a little blurry or they're not quite as good, but the screen, you got this great real estate to be able to see what you're filming and what's going on. And this one is one that's always in your pocket, which is a huge benefit. So if you already have a nice phone and you really don't have the money to go buy another camera, you're good. You can go out and vlog your vacations and be absolutely golden with your phone. The only problem is the battery. You're using your battery all day as you film, so if you do need it for phone calls, maybe part of your family is over at this part of the park and the other part's over here, and you've used all your battery, now you can't meet up because you can't even text them. So an external battery case would be highly recommended if you are using your phone to vlog or capture your family vacations. Now, instead of talking about these separately, I think I'm gonna just talk about the pros and cons of things that I liked about each. Let me know in the comments below which one you liked better. Let's talk about audio. The Insta360 One X fails so badly with its audio that luckily you can do such creative shots. You can take the audio out and just add music to it, and most of those shots still work really great. They not only make for an interesting look in the video, but you can go through and edit in post-production 2 or 3 times from the same footage, getting different angles, splicing it together. Go back to 5 minutes and 28 seconds in this video and look at the part when we go by the Jaws attraction and the shark pops out of the water. That was all filmed at once, and where it cuts over to my daughter Skylar, that was the same footage. I just edited it twice to show her reaction and the shark, and then I spliced them together. I would have had to have a couple of cameras filming in both directions to be able to acquire that same shot. With the Insta360 One X, one shot, multiple times I can edit it in post-production and then splice it together. Audio though, not worth a crap. The Osmo Pocket, the audio's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. You gotta be careful not to cover the little mic inputs, but hands down, the GoPro 7 audio blows me away. All these other videos saying, oh, it lacks. I don't know what they're talking about. For the use of YouTube, the audio on this is great. It's not a shotgun mic. It's not coming out like what I'm using right now and only picking up this cone. It's picking up everything. Just keep that in mind when you're in high traffic situations, high noise situations. For me, the audio wins hands down out of all 4 of these that I tested. Let's talk about ease of use. By ease of use, I mean, what's easier to just grab and film with? When you're out in public and you're surrounded by people like I was, what's the easiest thing to do? Not to mention, what's easier in post-production? What do you not have to sit down and correct all your color profiles or edit a whole bunch afterwards to make it look usable? Those are all very important factors, especially for a grab and go form factor camera. For the most part, the color profile in all of these are really good. There's a slight edge for the GoPro 7, where the dynamic range and the saturation is already built in great right off the bat. If you're like me, you want to be able to just use it as is and go because you're making these videos for YouTube. As far as them fitting in your pocket and being able to just use them on the go, your phone obviously is going to win that with the Osmo Pocket, a close second, and your GoPro and your Insta360, they sort of need to be mounted on something like so that you can hold it compared to just something like this that you can grab. You could hold the GoPro like this, but that's you're not gonna get the same shots. As far as the menu, screen, and settings for all these, the GoPro menu and settings is really easy to use. The new setup on the GoPro 7, super easy to use compared to the Osmo Pocket, which is a real pain in the butt. There is a way to hook it up to your phone so that your phone would be hooked up to it like this. If I'm doing that, I'm just gonna use my phone.
I can't do that.
What?
You're not listening to the music app.
Okay, thanks Siri. If I'm out and about with my family, I'm just grabbing and going, and that is what I'm judging this video on. As far as stabilization goes, they all do a pretty good job with that. The digital stabilization in your iPhones, your Androids, your GoPros, even the Insta163X, great digital stabilization. This is the only one that actually has a gimbal. So you'd think this would take the cake, it would win, it would smoke everyone else's butt, but it doesn't. It does a decent job as long as you do the ninja walk. If you're not familiar with the ninja walk, it's a walk where you have to sort of carefully step so you don't get this up and down motion. The one camera that really stands apart as far as image stabilization goes is the GoPro 7. This is only during daytime. As soon as it starts to get dark, the stabilization in this stops working so good. The stabilization in your phone doesn't work as well. And the stabilization in the Insta360 also suffers in low light. Speaking of low light, two of the cameras to me seem to do better. And the current phones out there are gonna do even better than this one. Easily the DJI Pocket took the low light category when I went back and looked at the footage. I'm really impressed at how well the rear-facing camera did on the iPhone. The GoPro does still lack in low light. It is better than it used to be, but it's still not quite up to par with the other products. The Insta360 One X is also pretty lacking as far as low light goes. For image stabilization, the GoPro definitely wins. What camera is it, Sean? Which one would you recommend already? Let's talk about just a couple of the cons real quick, and I'll tell you which one I would buy to bring with me for my family vacations, my family vlog trips, and just all around general video cameras. The Osmo Pocket has a few cons, and one of the main ones is this little screen. There's many times in this video that I thought I was actually filming something, but I couldn't tell if it was centered or not, and it turned out it wasn't even close to centered. It's a lot more fragile feeling than some of the other cameras. As much fun as the Insta360 One X is, it also has a few cons. There's extra editing time. You have to go in and use a tablet or your computer to choose where you want the picture to be, where you want it to look, where you want your viewer to be able to see. That's a plus and a negative all on its own, because you can use the same shot and edit it in multiple ways to be able to get different views and splice them together. It is much more time extensive to edit on this than it is to just take your footage in from one of the other cameras and just splice it together. It's not waterproof. It is a little bit water resistant, as I've been using it snowboarding and fallen a few times and it's been covered in snow. The biggest con to me on this is the LED screen. This little guy, you can't see it during the day. There is a way to go into your settings and make it start recording video just by pushing the button. If you're out in the sun, this LED screen, you can't tell what mode you're on. If you turn it on normally, if it's in picture mode, bullet time, all these other things. I will be doing some more extensive videos soon on the Insta360, so if you're interested in this camera, make sure to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you don't miss the video on this, as well as some of the other cameras I'm gonna be working with over the summer. Cons on your camera. Well, using your battery all up and it not being able to be a phone anymore, that's a huge con. It's not an easy video camera to set up with a tripod. There are ways to do it, clamps that hang on over it, but they're all sort of fragile, and I wouldn't trust it like out in a public area with a lot of crowds or on rides and things like that. The phone's great for grabbing some quick shots. The zoom feature, like I said, that's nice to have it built in instead of having to zoom in and post, but it's still a phone. It's an amazing phone. The fact that all our phones do what these do blows my mind still. Last but not least, the GoPro 7 Black. The only con that I have with this baby is low light. That's it. This is my go-to camera for filming everything. It is durable, it's waterproof, the picture quality is insane, frame rates up to 240, and it's incredibly durable. I've eaten it with this camera so many times snowboarding this season. Takes a beating and just keeps going. So I would have to highly recommend the GoPro 7 first, followed by the Osmo Pocket, your Insta360 One X, and finally your phone. Each one of these has their place and all of them are great cameras. I wouldn't stop you from buying any of the three. Judge for yourself, watch some of my other videos showcasing the Insta360 footage, as well as the GoPro footage, and soon to be more Osmo Pocket footage. Make sure you check the description below for links to all of these products and help support the channel if you are gonna get one by getting one through one of those links. I appreciate everyone watching this video. I appreciate everyone joining me on my Universal Studios vacation with the family. And I'll be uploading the vlogs from that trip shortly. So make sure you stay around for those as well. Everyone have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Also, when you walk, yeah, it's on a gimbal, but it gets this sort of up and down bounce, so you sort of got to do this ninja walk thing, and that's not really something I want to go do in like Universal Studios. Can you picture me just walking around light-footed trying to make those shots? No, I'd look like an idiot.